Okay, students, in this lecture we will study the digestive system of Scoliodon. Here, the digestive system of Scoliodon consists of two main parts, that is alimentary canal and second the glands associated with the alimentary canal, and third we have to study the physiology of digestion also. Okay, first we will see the alimentary canal. As in general we know alimentary canal, it starts from mouth and ends into anus. It has somewhat different or similar organs present in this alimentary canal. Here the alimentary canal of this Scoliodon, it consists of mouth, then buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, intestine and rectum. These are the main parts of the alimentary canal. The mouth is ventral crescentic opening which leads into a spacious or spatial dorsoventrally compressed buccal cavity. The buccal cavity, it is lined with thick mucous membrane which is ventrally raised into a thick fold to form the non-muscular tongue. Okay, this is we call as tongue, but it is a non-glandular. Glands are absent in this region. The mucous membrane is rough in the Scoliodon's buccal cavity. Then teeth are present. These teeth, they are oblique and have sharp, more or less compressed crups, the edges of which are smooth and non-serrated. All these teeth are alike in shape, called as homodont teeth, and they are brought in several parallel rows on the inner margin of upper and lower jaw. These teeth are used to catch the prey and they prevent escape of prey. But these teeth, they are not used to crush or masticate the food. Though there are several rows of teeth, only one row is functional at a time and old row is replaced by the new row. There are no glands in the buccal cavity comparable to the salivary glands in higher vertebrates or mammals. Like here, mouth does not contain any salivary glands. Then buccal cavity, it opens into the pharynx structure, one on either side of which lie the internal openings of spiracle and 5 gill pouches. The spiracle is a vestigial organ represented by inconspicuous oval gill pouches are large. The cavity of pharynx is lined with mucous membrane containing many dermal denticles. Then the pharynx, it narrows posteriorly to form a short esophagus structure. The esophagus, it has muscular wall with the internal lining of mucous membrane, and that mucous membrane is raised into many longitudinal folds. This esophagus, it widens posteriorly to form the large muscular stomach. The stomach is P itself and it forms a capital J-shaped organ. It is long proximal limb of which it is called as cardiac stomach, while the shorter distal limb, it is called as pyloric stomach. Hence we can say that stomach has two parts, one is cardiac stomach and one is pyloric stomach. Then At the junction of this cardiac and pyloric stomach or limb, there is a blind outgrowth. It is called as blind sac, and the inner mucous lining of this cardiac stomach is also thrown into prominent longitudinal folds that end in depression of the blind sac. The lining of pyloric stomach, it is smooth proximally, but distally it is folded, and at the end of pyloric stomach there is muscular structure called as bursa interna. The opening of this pyloric stomach into the bursa interna, it is guarded by a circular band of muscle fibers called as pyloric wall. Then this structure continues into the intestine. Here, intestine, it is a very wide tube-like structure running straight back into the abdominal cavity, and it opens posteriorly into the rectum. The internal surface of the intestine, it is increased by very characteristic folds of the mucous membranes. They are called as scroll walls. They have one edge attached to the inner wall of intestine, and the other is rolled up longitudinally of itself into a scroll like structure, making anti-clockwise spirals of about 2.5 tons. And this transverse section of scroll wall, it looks like the watch spring. The scroll walls, they serves to increase the extent of absorption surface of the intestine, and they prevent the rapid flow of food through the intestine. The rectum, it is the last part of the alimentary canal. It has tubular rectal glands which open dorsally into the rectum. The rectum leads into the cloaca, in which the alimentary canal as well as urinogenital ducts open. Okay. Then we will study the various glands associated with the alimentary canal. Here in Scoliodon, liver, pancreas and rectal glands, they are associated with the digestion of food in the Scoliodon. The liver, it is elongated yellowish gland. It consists of two lobes which extend back along the greater part of the abdominal cavity. These two lobes, they are united anteriorly but remain apart posteriorly. The right lobe of the liver, it carries capital V-shaped thin-walled sacs. It is called as the gall bladder, which stores the bile secreted by the liver. Bile is the secretion secreted by liver. The gallbladder, it communicates or joined with the intestine through a bile duct. Bile duct, it is a duct which is about 3 cm long in the adult dogfish or Scoliodon. The liver produces bile. It stores glycogen and fat. Liver also destroys the worn out red blood cells, as Kupffer cells are present in the liver. The pancreas, it is a compact bilobed gland. It is present in between the cardiac and pyloric stomach. The pancreatic duct, it opens into the intestine just opposite to the opening of the bile duct. Then third, rectal or cecal gland, it is a short, thick diverticulum arising from the dorsal wall of the rectum, and it discharges its fluid into the intestinal lumen, but the physiological effect of this fluid is unknown, and in this way these three glands are associated with the digestive system of Scoliodon. Okay, stop here.